champs, but Masters events that they've been to as well. So we start here on Haven, and this pistol round to begin looks explosive. We've got 9 out of 10 players looking to control a tiny piece of square footage.
Yeah, classic A lobby fight about to be occurring. To cage the feign like there's only one player crossing here for DRX, but they've slowed it down still. And KRÜ now going to offload that util, but a stun's going to be connecting. Kesnit forced and pushed back and away. Melter with the blind is good connection. Dart to try and again repel and push and ward away. And in this carnage, it is DRX that are just leaving Flashback alone. A 1v2. Spike dropped down at his back, and he's trying to catch a timing of his own.
I like the reclear from Shy and Melzer, but now they've split up, and that's where the danger comes through. Does Shy have eyes on the spike? I think he must do, just based on the minimap.
And Flashback wrapping all the way around here. Just doesn't need... Oh, spotting one of the players, and he knows exactly where Shy is for the 1v1. But KRÜ coming up on top. That's a pistol round, granted and earned.
And that's immediately going to what Tom was talking about on the desk. Are you going to be able to stop DRX from taking map control, getting into their executes? He was talking about the fact that there were 10 attack side rounds for DRX against Gen G. Against Gen G! But to me, when I was watching the game, a lot of that was based on anti-stratting the Viper comp.
Yeah.
And the way that Gen G play this map. It's not just that DRX are amazing on attack side. Here, KRÜ stacked 4 players A. You can't do that every single time. And in this follow-up, they've only got 2 there. Kesnit, MTA. So mixing that up and trying to find the right timings to contest DRX is going to be super important.
And Mouse is dodging most of this util coming his way as well with a Bulldog in hand, Flash. Paranoia to supplement. Smoke to at least cut up the side as well. Buy a bit of time, kill trips as well, helping him out. There is that plan online for DRX, so pocket change earned, a little bit of extra money, but overall KRÜ keeping it nice and healthy for the bonus.
Looking lovely. Now, bringing up bonus round stats again, because of course, you know, your boy's nerdy.
Yeah, you've been digging.
I have. But one of the reasons why I was digging into this game was that KRÜ have the lowest bonus round win rate out of all of the teams from EMEA, Pacific, and Americas, which is kind of wild.
That is weird, yeah.
And so even with them winning here, they're coming into the next round with 3 Guardians, a pistol. They've got no Vandals, no Phantoms. The way that they manage their economy, so different to the teams that are actually competent in the bonuses. So they've got to hit some crazy shots here. Otherwise, it's just about doing a little bit of damage to the economy.
Seeing it again, early fault line setting up. Going to be used to get Kesnit onto that line. There's a dart to worry about. Oh, he's missed it. 2 shots rattled away, but not able to claim it, so he is postured off and away. DRX going for a quick pivot. They themselves as well, trying to take this one out through Garage. The dash already active onto Buzz. He's going to be trying to get that first fight and engagement whilst he's into the back of the site. There's no one to meet him. KRÜ happy to give this one up. A slight pixel angle. Flashback still committed! And still holding it down. No one able to cross back up into Garage here. And at this point, round is basically wrapped up. Only 2 left to stand with MTA and Heat. Not much they can really do.
I don't think there was any chance there for the KRÜ players coming back through Garage. Even if they'd had rifles in hand, just far too snappy on the aim. Heat and MTA, they want to try to do a bit of damage, and that's a great opening shot.
Yeah. Need a bit more though, and already the flank is occurring. Flashback spots it out, and damage done to the remaining 2. So no bonus round, no increasing the what is it, like a statistical anomaly, I suppose, sitting at the bottom in terms of converting them.
Yeah. Again, if you were just winning it like a rifle round, 50% would be what you expect. KRÜ are sat at 24%, so they win less than half of what you would expect if the economy was even. So they really, really can't convert these bonuses. And you can kind of see why when they bring 3 Guardians into the round, but I don't think they were quite expecting to get mauled like that in Garage too. KRÜ going for a bit of a hard read though, heading into round 4. 3 players set up on B.
Yeah, heavy expectation, especially with Heat's position tucked into the back of the site. Just he's able to use that fault line in case they do commit in B side.
So you see a smoke and a recon over towards A lobby, but there's no paranoia, there's no stun. You're pretty confident that KRÜ are not fighting super aggro, and here the cam tells you with decent confidence, nobody there.
It's a bit of a slow siege. It's a flash and a peek through, trying to take that Garage control. DRX making it seem like they're working over towards that area. Now back into A. They must have heard the drone that MTA used earlier, and he does have to commit his body, at least to try and get that mid-round information at the minute mark. And he's missing the spot here, almost a punish. Straight from Mako, backs it up and away though, and reinforcements are arriving for KRÜ. Yeah, they're already fast. Ready to defend this again with the fault line. Util is going to be expended, pushed back and away. No one on that dart. UT, Kesnet gliding to the side, smokes in their face. DRX might be able to persevere through the thick and thin of it. Shy's the last one left, and as the smoke dissipates, he's granted that easy angle again into the 1v1. Shots rattling, no casualties, but damage done. Flashback, he's low. Cam tagged up, and finally the kill here for Shy.
Nothing coy about that, is there? Swings out through heaven on the wide swing, the Mr. Rhinoceros. Yeah. He's won now 2 really important 1v1s, round 1 and round 4, against his counterpart, Flashback. Both firing, both hitting shots, but crucially Shy winning out on the clutches when it matters to keep KRÜ ahead. I'm watching, by the way, Kesnet zipping around on these A defenses. Loves fighting, always happy to take a fight, and on Neon on this map, sliding in to play his teammates in. DRX are going to find it difficult to deal with that, I think.
Cam and a dart immediately broken. Now Flashback is ahead of a lot of this. Off angle again played, this box position by Melza. A lot of bullets landing, but did he think it's cleared? Oh my, peace of mind is not there for him, and the Spectre in the hands of him, it's short work. The DRX team, only 3 of them left to survive into this as well. Norofet will give away quite a bit of info.
It makes KRÜ think they need to shore up this A side of the map, so Kesnet's going to come and try to reinforce MTA. But basically, KRÜ just need to not overextend. They're in a 5v3. You don't want to give any opportunities back to DRX. And what a heartbreaker that is for the Korean squad playing in front of the crowd. Shocked, stilled here in the arena. They knew there was someone behind that box.
Yeah, maybe just feeling like the bullets that they did throw in were enough. An opener is what they need here. Cheeky kill. Melza, he's not giving anything away. That is nasty. Jiggling onto the corner, a bit of a free fire. Okay, Phantom at work.
The ace.
He's on for the ace, yeah. One player left to stand, it's Bane, and he's being pressured, pushed, corralled into the corner. Kesnet steals away, but it's flawless at the end of the day.
That's a tragedy. Since joining KRÜ, Melza's never had an ace for them.
Oh, okay.
And Kesnet's just stolen it away.
That's brutal. That is brutal.
Fair enough. It's giving texture.
It is giving texture.
I mean, what is... it's a tragedy, honestly, that DRX get caught by that. The spot behind the box and the Spectre spray down as well. It's not even like it was a Phantom, a Vandal. They died slowly, realizing their mistake. KRÜ are running away with this one.
They are.
Right there.
This is DRX ran down in terms of the money onto that half bite. Taking it slow and steady to begin. Again, looking towards garage control. Close quarter weaponry, so it makes a lot of sense here, but not the beginning they were hoping for, not in front of this Korean crowd. Going to be making their way now over towards the seaside. Shock darts, at least to remove most of this one here inside towards the cage. Here's the footsteps.
Not again.
Free fire, no way is Shy surviving into this spot, and we will eventually be dropped. Melza, Paranoia's dished out. The rest of his team now following suit as well. They want to get themselves into the action, into the fray. It's Kesnet overdrive in his hands, and he's lighting them all up. Another 4K. Dropped into his lap. This time it's Kesnet's turn.
And another ace stolen away as well. That's fair enough. I mean, that is karma for Kesnet, isn't it? DRX are going to take a tactical timeout here. Things are spiraling out of control. That was just an eco round. But perhaps it felt like there was an opportunity to make something happen when Shy was caught over towards Logs. These flood defense, though, KRÜ, they're so rapid with it.
They are.
Kesnet is going to be trying, if he's not at the tip of the spear, he's going to be the first one back into the site. Trying to get these big retakes, trying to flood in and help Melza, help Shy, those players that have smokes and can stabilize their positions onto sites. KRÜ are genuinely good here as well. They're the 4th seed coming in from Americas, and people might write that off. I say the 4th seed, actually. 3rd seed. Yep. Apologies for that. They were the 4th seed last year. 3rd seed coming in from Americas. And like I said, people might write that off a little bit. But Haven, in my opinion, is clearly their best map. And I think they might even be like top 5 in the world at it, which is a
wild
bold
statement.
Claim.
Yeah, it is bold,
but I think the results recently have been backing it up. This Neon Breach Sova composition, they've been having a lot of success with it.
Yeah, and part of it is because what you've already mentioned, you know, Kesnet is either the tip of the spear or followed up shortly afterwards because it's on the neon. He can constantly follow the action. Any noise cues the DRX are making, right now they're not hiding their intent enough, I don't think, as well. They're making a lot of noise of the, you know, which site they're trying to land on, and KRÜ are either flood defending or getting players to anchor in incredibly quick. Usually Kesnet's able to supplement any sort of defense they're trying to get online.
You look at the pings on the minimap here, Bren, and coming out of the tactical timeout, this to me looks like Mako wants to ult into spawn. Seen a few teams do this, where you send a smoke into spawn, ult in there, that draws people back towards top garage.
And here it is. But awareness here, he's stuck it! And Shy, he waits around the corner, Mako's baited to stick the ult, it's perfection! And what a play to make still. Fight isn't over yet, but this man will not be denied. Rips away 2 of the lives of DRX. They're gonna give them up the site, but it's a consolation prize for DRX. And now Kesnet wants to make another go of things here. It's a fault line to set it up. Another stunner's just going to be layered all the way through. Rifle aim is on point movement. Just a cherry on top, and KRÜ cannot be stopped.
That was DRX's set play. That was what they took the tactical timeout for. That was supposed to send KRÜ spiraling. Where was the smoke for him to play inside? Why is he ulting into a position that's so close to where the C defender's going to be?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really large mistake just in terms of the execution there from Mako. It's not how people are currently playing it. It's looking like something from a couple years ago, rather than how teams are currently doing it.
It's got to feel bad for DRX. You take your time out just for that, and it gets dismissed as easily.
Get out of my way.
Already a fight going to be taken once more. Oh my goodness. And listen, the weaponry's bad right now for DRX, but these guys are hurting. Able to catch another one, but Stinger in the hands of Mako, it's not good enough. Calling for that pause, but KRÜ going for a reclear, contacting. Mako reveals his hand. Buzz is trying to clear the corner. Bladestorm, rapid fire. Only one before the trade comes out. Mako is worried about these players. Paranoia does land, blinded up, sprays them down. Collected into the corner, leaves it down to another 1v1. This time, the Smokes players off against each other, and that is a minute on the clock. There's time to work with. If you are Mako, you can slow this one down.
What redemption this would be as well for Mako, after he got caught coming straight out of the tac timeout in the previous incredibly important round.
Cover going out.
It's been a jarring game so far as well, just in terms of the pace that's been followed. DRX trying to match it pound for pound when KRÜ are just running at them.
Mako has no idea where Melzer is, hasn't shown himself, hasn't used anything that gives away his location. Just a smoke, could have been thrown from anywhere. And Mako doesn't even have info on site. From Mako's perspective, Melzer could be heaven, sight, walking short. He's got to take a gamble now, time is low.
It's a smart play, drops the smoke down over towards B to make at least it feel like to Melzer that he's playing over towards that B angle. Walks most of the way, but now committing to the plan, and that's heard. Melzer, paranoia. There's a connection, drops himself down into hell. The reposition, he's out in the open. My God, almost just plays it poorly, but again, the reposition away, and the mind games are kicking into full effect in this 1v1. The smoke drop down, Melzer taps, and the issue, and hand being forced out of Mako. No stick inside, but pushes forward, Melzer catches him. A bullet to the brain, and another round one for KRÜ.
DRX sorely needed that one. Mako did a decent job getting it down into the 1v1. The reposition over towards short, though, I think a bit of an overheat in the moment. After just being surprised by Melzer's positioning, coming out of being nearsighted, deciding not to reposition over towards somewhere where he could play the spike, like hell, for example, maybe even heaven in a spot like that. He could have possibly got to. Instead there, just gives up all of the space to Melzer. Spike down, smoke down, dominated. Kesnet's now going to pick up the operators. We go back into round 9, looking to take that peak short. This is where he fought before.
Yeah, I'm set up for it as well. It's a fault line onto the corner alongside the dart. No one breaks it. It reveals up onto 2 players. Jump spot, damage through the wall. Mako's still alive though. Now able to at least take up that space out towards A lobby and A long. Kesnet's gone for the pre-fire play, almost catching it. Right through the smoke.
This is how DRX had so much value against Gen G, though. They took a lot of A-long control like this, and then they just waited. Cut the noise, make a little bit of pressure over towards Garage, something like that, and then try to go for an A re-hit. You can catch KRÜ if they decide to go for info reclears towards A long or short, and then when you exec, the defenders are going to be spread out again.
Yeah.
So we're now finally, at the last moments of this first half, getting to see DRX playing their attack side how they would like to see it.
But the trouble is, KRÜ are one step ahead already. They see that Foxy9 has this ulti and the Rolling Thunder, and Kesnet, he's in a position to evacuate. Right by his side, he's going to be catching that first contact. The smoke's up and away, blind in his face as well, and he wants to get the hell out of there. They're giving up the site entirely. Kill collected down to Bane. That was just up through mid. Now the only silver lining potentially is that they might be able to get this plant down. Still, it's tapping away. It's forced out of Hunter's Fury, and they do have that Rolling Thunder in their back pocket. DRX desperate to get this plant down. Still with that player disadvantage. Here it is, sent flying. Might be used into a response, so it's just a 1-for-1. And Foxy9 does take down Shy. Still holding on to the site. Wall up and over to the top. The retake is going to be difficult. Again, Kesnet just blindly firing away and through with that op in his hands. He's hoping for an easy kill. Buzz dominating the smoke, but does not win out his fight. And up through heaven, and all has to be contained. Flashback of Mako, and down and out. A collection of kills in what looks like anarchy towards the end. Is that a 4 damage assist for? I mean, yeah. Mako's just spraying him down.
I think he's done 120 to him. And the fall damage has done the rest in that spot.
God almighty.
Not the greatest ending, but listen, it's 7-2. KRÜ will still be fairly happy with that. The post-plant breach ult ended up making the difference from Foxy9. He waited for that retake ult to come out. Throws one out himself, that cancels things. And then they made sure to keep rifles out, face towards heaven. But we're seeing another fight over A lobby again.
It's non-stop. The tempo increase is ridiculous here. Mako with another ult, this time up and towards heaven, but he's not going to be punished for it. Paranoia sweeps through. Smoke up into heaven for him to play around. He's waiting for the rest of his team to get in, and he leaps into the fray, trying to take the fight with a cloudburst in play, but already Kesnet is dropping them all like flies. DRX will have to answer back once more. This is ridiculous, man. Barely any time to catch your breath in the action, but 8-2, KRÜ win the round out. They're not stopping.
I thought there was going to be a set retake there from KRÜ. As soon as the 2 players on site went down, MTA and Kesnet, I thought, all right, the other 3, they'll probably group up and try something more sensible. Shy flew out of heaven like Batman into the site, and Melzer was right there looking to back him up. I mean, these players are getting so much value out of the distractions that their teammates are going for. They're just willing to put their bodies on the line for each other. That's a good teammate right there.
Only 2 rounds left in this first half, and it feels like we've just barely begun.
Yeah, the pace is incredible.
It's ridiculous. There's been no slowing down. DRX just getting sucked up into that whirlwind tempo. KRÜ happy to oblige into it. This time they are giving up most of this site, but they're setting themselves up as a Paranoia, and the fault line out through into the back again. And already this util is just a little bit too late and delayed. Foxy9 presses the advantage through the smoke, but the spike dropped down now, and everybody once more falls here for DRX. And yes, again, it's an eco round for them, but they need anything they can get at this point. And KRÜ, they've just got a handle on this entire half.
There's nothing that DRX are able to do to stop this flood defense strategy. Really, one of the teams that's the best at dealing with this kind of stuff is Fnatic. If you watch how they play their attack sides, they'll do pump fakes into sites. They'll run and execute, but they don't go all the way deep into the site. They run their exec, they take a little bit of space, let's say like the front area of C, and then rather than pushing the backside, they just wait. And they just wait for the defenders to fall into them. We're not seeing that. DRX are getting sucked up into the pace of KRÜ. They're getting dragged into it.
Oh my, what a shot.
And plucked away.
That's Kesnet pre-fires onto the corner, and that's a Hunter's Fury gone for DRX. They were hoping they could potentially get a pick onto the C side.
The ops are everywhere.
Set up. They're in the walls, man.
Well, that's the advantage of having a blooming economy.
You just don't expect it, but this is them trying to make a good go of it. DRX in through into the B sides. Rifles into their hands. Back up Wavenry. There's no slowing it down. 10-2.
Tom was talking about a 10-2 half the other way around when DRX attacked into Gen G. Could not be more different here. KRÜ have arrived on the Champions stage, making a statement. This time, they're determined to do something. This champs, more like 2021 perhaps, than 2022 and 3.
Exactly, we're gonna see if that pace just keeps on going into the second half.
Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
That's a pretty sky. Sing a lullaby. I need a steed, I need a steed. Make the kitty cry. That's a pretty sky. Sing a lullaby. I need a steed, I need a steed.
This is a KRÜ team that is looking for that redeeming qualities, I think, as well. They've made every single champs since VCT's existence, but the trouble is they only get out of groups one time. It was in 2021 is when they last actually made that mark on that international stage. It was a long, long time ago. It's a different age and era. This time, however, for Haven, the opening match against DRX, one of the hometown favorites, they have come out swinging.
They certainly have. And DRX used to have this aura about them at international events. They would always dominate the opening game, and they would always make it out of groups. This is a new version of the team. They're looking to build towards the future. At the moment, they're still behind their past. They're trying to hunt for those top 3 finishes. They'd love to get some kind of turnaround here early on.
Bane's going to catch the contact of these players out through a lobby. Buzz, an attempt to flank and play himself into the angle, but Kesnit's not slowing down, and there's no util to help out. Bane is just isolated alone on an island. There's no helping him out with the same pace that KRÜ were showcasing. Even the flank timing of Buzz as well. It's going to come to no avail, but he does earn himself at least 1 kill, but can't land the second shot. Shy surviving, Paranoia offloaded and flashed into his face, but flashback, again he's pushed forwards. Away from the rest of his team, disconnected, and it leaves it just down to 2. Mako, it's a nice shot into the 2v2, damage done to either side. Anyone's game, it comes down to these angles and timings, the 1v1. Melza versus Foxy9. Can hear the footsteps running around, but Melza wins it out.
Huge from KRÜ to push them even further into the lead. These two organizations actually had a bit of a bet going before the game began about who could get more kills with their respective bundles. On broadcast, has to be on broadcast. Melza has just done it for them. Those are the first 3 kills with the KRÜ bundle or the DRX bundle that the camera caught today.
Yeah.
3-0 on top of the 11-2 scoreline that's already there.
No, I don't know what they're playing for,
KRÜ
but
are eating. They're eating today.
Yeah, they're eating good, man. They want to get to dinner. They're not slowing down, are they? Fast A lobby take. Dart has to be respected, so Buzz is going to be using just a dash to disengage.
Yeah, maybe they've got dinner reservations and they want to. They're like, let's get rid of DRX real quick. Just a blip in the road.
This is unreal.
They have forced here, DRX. They've got to.
And you have to.
They're 11-2 down. But can they do something? You know, chunk them down with the Marshall, finish them off with the Stinger. It is a fairly even buy.
Committal here by DRX. It's Bane and Buzz. Smokes in their face. KRÜ don't want anything to do with it, though. Going to re-explore different areas and avenues. They haven't broken any of this util that's been set down, laid down by flashback. You know, mid-trip, garage trip still active, but DRX haven't moved bodies away from those areas.
And it looks like KRÜ might have found an open C site. I wonder how much they're going to contact up. One of the biggest things in the current meta is noticing these retake setups and contacting into them, not using too many ults or pieces of util. That was fairly light. They've still got some decent post-plant util to use here.
I'm going for the plant now. DRX looking to regroup now and take this one, potentially again. Fast at their disposal. It's going to be that paranoia again to try and pave the way, but already just being chewed up straight through the choke points. I mean, Flashback makes a decent go of things as well, but they just can't get past anything right now. KRÜ, an absolute chokehold onto the C site, and this is them inevitability that they're going to be reaching that 12th round. Trying to speedrun 112 the entire event at this point.
And I am worried about what this is going to do to DRX. This is not the same team that had all the confidence to be able to make it through groups and get to lower bracket finals and try to break that glass ceiling for Pacific and for Korea. That's already been done by Gen G. DRX at this point, they are rebuilding. They've got rookie players on the team. 3 of them, Foxy9, Flashback, Bane.
Oh my.
And they've got a brand new IGL, Mako, who, in his own words at the press conference, says he wouldn't say he was entirely comfortable or used to the role of IGLing. If you get 13-2'd on your opening map, admittedly not your map pick, but a map that you're comfortable with, I'm worried about the mental being rattled here.
It does rattle you, I think, and it's a big test now for this DRX team. How are they going to pick themselves back up after this? At this point, already looking ahead to Abyss, and that's a map that's essentially a middle ground, I think, for both of these teams, if you're even looking at the strength of it. But here we stand. KRÜ not willing to hold back in the slightest. It's a fault line. Util going to be used again on either side. A bit of a handshake in terms of the darts. Bane with the drone. Looking for that info. Going to be trying to hide away. Only one player revealing themselves. Buzz onto the off angle, but he's not expecting it across their placement. It's sky high. KRÜ aiming for Shaq, but he's not in the server. He's nowhere near.
Cage triggered.
I do like the idea there as well. Mako gave him a little smoke that you could barely see so that you could try to play like anti against the recon dart, and unexpected in the corner. Didn't work. KRÜ looking to close out.
Yeah, trying to force pause into the round to at least make them stim in. A re-exploration is punished in kind. Any short plays as well dealt with, dismissed, and that is the map closed out. 13-2, KRÜ. Domination. It's the only way to describe it.
If there's going to be one team that spots a weakness and drives it home with supreme confidence, it's going to be a Kesnit-led KRÜ.
Not willing to take a step back, not willing to make the same mistakes as prior events. It's a KRÜ that is looking empowered.